Today we're going to be reviewing the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.0. Now the 8.0 comes in 16 gigabyte of storage, and that sells for $329. There is a micro SD slot on this unit that allows you to expand that another 64 gigabytes. Quite a jump from the 16 that comes standard on the tablet. Now if you're holding your tablet like this, what you'll find is on the side here you have your micro USB charging port, your speakers. As you turn your tablet, you have your power on and your volume up and down. You also have the ability to use this as a remote control for your television and other devices. Also, if you notice, you have a pen, an S Pen, right there. And on the bottom of the tablet, it's a little hard to see right here, and I'll try to open that and get my sausages out of the way. You have the ability to use a micro SD card to expand that memory. Okay? I'm going to leave that pen stick out right now. Oops, looks like we moved a little beyond where I was wanting to go. Alrighty, so here we have our tablet. We've already discussed it's $329 for the 16 gigabyte unit. This puppy comes with a quad-core processor. It's a 1.6. That sounds fantastic, and for the most part it is. It isn't the highest of quality of processor. It's not the Snapdragon processor. So as a result, it is a middle of the road processor. Also, the price is just a tad higher than the middle of the road, but only a tad. It comes standard with Android 4.1. Installed memory is 2 gigabytes. That's pretty fantastic for a small 8-inch tablet. Unit only weighs 3/4 of a pound. It's a 1/3 of an inch thick. It's a nice looking tablet. It has a plastic band that surrounds the unit. Unlike, say, some of the higher quality tablets like Apple that uses metal, this is all plastic. As you look at the back, you can see, your camera is here. They have taken off the flash, so you have no flash. An entirely plastic enclosure. Again, 3/4 of a pound, just about a 1/3 of an inch thick. It's just under a 1/3 of an inch. The front-facing camera is a 1.3 megapixel, and the rear-facing camera is a 5 megapixel. Neither of which are something you're going to write home and say, hey, I just bought this fantastic tablet. It is the most wonderful thing since sliced bread, and you can't believe the camera. You won't be saying that. These are decent cameras. They'll do the job. The software, though, mediocre. The camera software, it's pretty mediocre. I don't think, this is the first time I've turned the camera on this unit. I don't think you're going to find, look at the big sausages there. You're not going to find this camera to be anything, or the software to be anything special. But I got all the way into the settings here, and let me back out of that. Anyways, the camera itself are decent. They're all right. The software is mediocre. The resolution of the screen is 1280 by 800. Again, that's not anything that is overly special. Many of the smaller tablets have much higher, like the iPad mini, have much higher screen resolutions. This is a 7.9-inch screen. It's Wi-Fi. It's a Wi-Fi tablet. It's a nice tablet. It has GPS and a gyroscope. It has an accelerometer. It has the ambient light sensor, the micro SD slot, and the micro USB slot allow you to use this tablet in many ways that you would not be able to use, say, the iPad or the iPad mini or Air. Where this tablet really begins to show its inferiority is in its battery life. It is the Achilles heel, if you will, of this tablet. I am sorry to say that although this ought to be the most fantastic small tablet with an S Pen that you buy, it is not. 5.5 to 6 hours of heavy use, 7.5 to light to moderate use is nothing special. That is nothing special. As a matter of fact, that's even on the low side, in my opinion. However, it is a durable tablet. It's quality. It's light. It's thin. Comes with Polaris Office. The S Pen, if we pull that back out, you'll be able to notice the S Pen begins to access many of its features. Okay, you can use that S Pen any old way that you want, including the dual screen feature. The unit comes with S Notes. It comes with Polaris Office, as I've already said, Paper Artist, S Cloud, which allows you to store your programs, your documents in the cloud. Again, the split screen feature is a plus. The remote control, allowing you to access or turn on or off your television or your VCR. Those are, of course, with compatible programs. Anyhow, I like the tablet. I think it ought to be priced a little lower, and I think that it ought to have a few, at least another hour worth of use, both in heavy and in light use, if not more. They're capable of it. Samsung, with its Note 10.1 2014 unit, has proven it. It's a very good tablet. This is a very similar tablet, yet it does lack in so many of what I feel is the emerging demand for higher screen resolution, a better camera, and longer battery life. I think it is a little overpriced compared to its competitors and features, such as the high resolution screen and battery life. The quality enclosure, it is quality, but it is all plastic. They've taken away the flash. I don't think that's a big plus. And I also think the speakers could just be a little bit better than they are. Having said all that negative, and that may sound as though I'm not going to recommend the Galaxy Note 8, I am going to recommend it. I do think there is a place for this tablet. It's reasonably priced, especially if you consider, and I did say it's a little on the high side, but however, if you take into consideration the fact that you have a micro SD slot, you can expand this tablet another 64 gigabytes at a very reduced price that offsets the fact that it's a little bit overpriced. So if you're like me, I would weigh those two factors. The screen resolution is decent. It could be better. The fact that you have the S Pen is a remarkable achievement for Samsung. They have a reputation with their S Pens of just being the right thing. And I like the tablet. I like the feel of the tablet. It's extremely light. And as I scroll through it, you can see some of your apps. You have a calculator, your internet, music player, email. You have your contacts, settings on the bottom. You have an S planner, your notifications, volume, font size, which is nice to be able to change the font size. You can set up multiple accounts, the sensitivity of the tablet. Has a task manager, which I really like their task manager. If you go into their that's widgets, let's go to their apps. You get a kind of a full view of their apps. It comes standard with an alarm, your Dropbox, which allows you to access your files via the internet, playbooks, play magazines, maps, pretty much most of your Google apps. And it's a decent tablet. $329, like I said, is little on the overpriced side, but weigh in on the ability to increase your storage capacity. I compared the Wi-Fi connectivity of the Samsung to the iPad Mini 2, and I will assure you of this, that at least with the iPad Mini 2 I have, and the Samsung Note 8 I have, the connectivity is much better. I had to move nearly to the router with the iPad Mini before I could get connectivity. Now, after I was able to do it, I could move away, but I could easily move 40, 50 feet beyond the capacity of the iPad Mini 2 with the Samsung. So if you are a Wi-Fi user, that is something to consider too, is that if you're weighing the Apple iPad 2 versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 8, as far as connectivity and moving away from your source, your router, this one does exceed. I do give it a thumbs up. I've explained its limitations and its pros. So lots of apps that come with it and are available via the Google Market. The 1.6 quad-core processor is decent. It is middle of the road, but it is decent. This is the Samsung Galaxy Note 8 16 gigabyte unit.